Hi everyone. So this is our new class and now we are going to talk about date functions. Date functions in detail. For this purpose, I am going to use our same database, which is ecom database. So use ecom database. And we are going to work on our ecom database. That's why we are using ecom database. Now I am writing select star from this customer's new table. So yeah, I have selected star from customer's new table and it will give me all the records from the customer table. So what are our date functions? First date function is month, comma, year, comma, day. Second is date part. Third is date diff. Fourth is date add. And the fifth one is date name. And this is current time stamp. For example, first, like to explain you all these things. For example, I want all the months from this table when the customers have registered. What I will do, I will just write select and I will pass month and I will pass this date entered column because registered is like when they have entered to the company. So like date entered from which table? From our customers new table. And I will run this, will give me all the months from this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the months will be there. It will give me all the records, like how many records where the people have entered there. It will give me months. It will fetch me months from that records. So yeah, this will give me integer values as well as string values. For example, this month date entered. So if you want to apply a where filter here, so you can also write where month date entered, where month date entered is equal to 4, like this also, or you can write it like this also. So it will return the value both in the form of a string as well as integer. So I'm commenting this thing as well. So now if you want to use the year function, then you will write select year date entered, from my customer's new table. So this will give me all the years from that table. So there is 2020, 2021 and all these things. So if you want to apply a where filter also, then you can write where year date entered is equal to this. So this is my date, month, year, and it will also pass my day as well. Select, if I write day, and I will write date entered, from customer's name. Date entered. Yeah, this is the column name. And I will pass there. It will give me day as well from that dates. So that is all about month, day, year. Now we'll come on our date part function. So what date part do? So in date part, we have to pass two parameters. For example, if we want some interval from our date An interval may be like hour, month, day, year, anything in the terms of time. So how can we do that? Select date part, and we are passing date entered here. Entered date entered from customers new. Now, I have told you have to pass two parameters. So I want to take out month from this date entered. So I will month, comma, and now I will run this. So it will give me all the months from that dates. So if I want to use date part, then I have to make sure I am using two parameters inside that. First parameter will be my interval. Interval may be in month, or you can say it can be in form of year as well. And it will also give the value in the two forms, string as well as integer. So now third thing is all about our date name. How date name is working. So for example, if somebody is asking you that what is the date, what is the name of that month, because in terms of year you will get the year only 2020, because year has no name. In terms of day, you will also get that day 1, 2, 3, 4 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But in the case of this month, you can get the month name as the like January, February, March. So for the name of that month, you can write select date name. Inside this date name, you have to pass two parameters this time also. So my first parameter will be month, and second parameter will be date entered. And I will from customers new. So when I will do this, I will find that I am getting the months this time, January, February, March. So what the output will be if I will pass day here. It's giving me 2 6 1917 only, because these year and day will not have an impact on the form of date name. But the day, if you want specifically month names like October, November, December, at that point of time your best friend will be date name. So now fourth thing will be date diff, which is also known as difference between days. Difference between days. So how to use this date diff? For example, if I want to calculate my date of birth, if I want to calculate my date of birth, so what two things I have to know? Like when is my date, like when if I want to calculate my age in terms of year or month or in hours, then at that point of time I have to make sure that I have two things there. First, the current date, and second, my date of birth. So how I will make my age? So if I want my age from SQL Server, so I have to use a difference between my birth date and my current date. So it will give me an interval, and that interval I can form as my own. Like if I want that thing interval in year, then I can take it in year. If I want that in months, then I can take it in month. If I want it in days, then I can take it in days also. So what I will like select date diff. So now in date diff, firstly you have to give the intervals that what difference you want. If you want the difference, then if you want it in which way, like you want it in months, you want it in year, or you want it in hours or in days. So I want it in the form of year. Now second parameter will be my starting date. So my starting date will be my date of birth, 1998, 08 and 17. This is my date of birth. Now I will pass the current date as well. So what is the date today? So for the current date, I will write current timestamp. It will give me the date of the today as well. As age. As is used to give the alias. So if I will use as here, it will give this thing as a column name. So now if I run this, it's giving me my age as 24. So this is the date difference function. It is a difference between the two dates, like the current date and the date of birth. And I have taken this in the form of year. You can also take it in the form of month as well. If I will use it in the form of month, it will give me I am 289 months old. Okay. Now after this, the last thing will be date add. For example, if you want to add some date, if you want to add something to your date, so you have to use select date add, and in this date add you have to pass the interval. So I want to add some months in my date, so I will write month, and after that how many months I want to add. So I want to add 12 months in my date, and in which date I want to enter. I want to enter in 1998 08 17. So what it will do, it will add 1 year to this date. So the before the date was 1998 08 17. Now it's 1998 08 17, 1999. So which means it has added 12 months to this date. For example, I want to add year. Now it will add 12 years to this date, 2010. So how this thing is performing? So date add function also takes three parameters. And first thing is like interval. Second thing is how much interval you want to add. And third thing is the date. And make sure one thing, like for example, right now I have writing the dates on my own. But for example, if you are working on your columns or your tables, then at that point of time, you have to pass the column name here. So that's all about date function, and we will meet in the next class. And that's all about the date functions.